All they do is yap, 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 all out the mouth. I don't understand what you really talking about. If you ain't talking about the dollar, what you talking about? All they do is
I'm kidding.
yap,
I'm
yap,
kidding.
Yap, yap, yap.
Welcome to the Generational Talk, the podcast. This is my oldest son who takes shots at me any chance that he gets, man.
It ain't like that, but this is my pops. This is my dad. Pops ages him. He don't like old names like Pops.
I don't.
You know? And welcome to this week's episode.
Man, and this is a fire episode. Or as they would say in the YouTube world, I'm getting better at this YouTube stuff. As they would say in this YouTube world, this is a banger. Whew. Say banger.
I don't want to say
banger.
Banger.
Not bang her, banger.
Banger.
Banger. This is a banger. So
All right.
no, but we got a really good topic that we think a lot of people would have a lot of input on this situation. And, you know, but before we get started, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. You know, I guess that helps get the channel out more. And this is a topic that we would really like to engage as much as we can with all the viewers and even people that just come across this this channel. So
meet us in the comments.
Yeah, meet
if
us
y'all
in the
see
comments.
something, if y'all hear something, go ahead and leave it in the comments so we could get back to it.
yeah. So with all that business taken care of, I'm just coming straight out shooting, man. I think church is a scam. It's a scam. To me, it's a scam. It's one of the biggest hustles in America. I'm only saying America because I don't know about anywhere else because, you know, when you go visit places, you don't really think about what they're doing in the churches. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's crazy, man. It's and I don't understand how they continue to get us.
You don't know how they continue to get us.
Yeah.
Well, on my behalf, I don't think church is a scam. I don't. I'm sure that there are, you know, a few bad churches out there.
A few?
You know, when you're looking at the grand magnitude of how many churches are out there, then yes, a few.
All right. So this is why I think. So I guess most of my thoughts are coming from experience. It's really because that's what I'm mostly experienced with is mostly the black churches, but I have been hearing a lot more of the mega white churches as well, or I wouldn't just white churches. Fuck it, shit. Coming out with getting exposed for some type of fraud or trying to cover up some money or, you know, and just one of my biggest things is like, why is it that the pastor is put up on this pedestal and in most cases the only one that's rich or the only one that's balling? You know, while the rest of the congregation, this is like in the inner cities, like, you know, you have all these people coming in that's struggling and they're looking for something, some type of hope, and these people are taking advantage of them. Why would you want them to bring their rent to you? If they lose their place, you're not gonna help them.
Well, you don't pay to go to church.
I know you don't pay to go to church, but
and the thing with the pastor, you know, I don't think he's put on a high pedestal. You know, he's in the same boat as all of us, but so long as the people who are going to church for help or to get through whatever they're going through, or if they're a devout Christian or whatever religion they're going for, you know, as so long as they get what they went there for, you know, I feel like then the job is complete. for that moment until
but-
they need to go back again.
Okay, so you don't think that going to church and then discovering that there's some scandal going on in the church, you don't think that interferes with your walk, quote unquote, path, that your journey in your religion?
I don't think it'll affect their faith, because faith is what you got on the inside. I don't have no faith in man, really.
You do. You do.
Because you got the pastor who teaches the lessons, but you got the book at home.
Okay, well let me stop you there, because I my thoughts is you do have faith in man, because you go to this church and there's a man there. So you have faith in this man. Do
you have faith in the lesson that he's teaching, not in the man himself.
Okay, so why are you listening to him then? Anybody can tell you that.
That's the church. That's the church you go to. It's a place where you can go to, leave your troubles behind you. You could go for healing.
And you're listening to this man who's the leader of the church.
You're listening to the lessons that he's teaching from the book.
Who's teaching? This man.
The man. But you.
And I'm just trying to show you that you do have faith in this man. Like, one of our biggest things that we trust and we have faith in this world is when we're driving. You have faith in these people that's on the road beside you. You're believing that they're going to do exactly what they're going to do. They're going to stay in this lane. You're going to stay in this lane. That's trust. Faith is, to me, is almost in lines with trust, right? Or no?
I'm having a little trouble following.
Yeah?
A little bit. Okay,
so you're having faith in, well, what's your idea of faith?
Faith is blind. It's blind. You don't. It's almost like, man, how do I best? I've never had to describe.
Right,
faith
just
before.
describe it to you. We're not looking for the definition, because we probably off about the definition. But whatever faith means to you, because you said you don't have faith in this man, which I'm like, well, how could you not have faith in this guy? But you're going there.
Because at the end of the day, my faith comes from straight from the source, not exactly from the man, but from the source. So even if I was to go there and he slips up and says something incorrectly, I have the source right here. Like, if I wanted to, I could stand up and correct him in front of all these people. But that's why people like urge you, when you go to church, bring your Bible, have your Bible open, follow along with them. Because if he slips up and says something that's, incorrect, you and hopefully other people will be like, well, actually right here, and that'll cause,
but so most pastors, they read from the Bible, but they interpret it in their own words.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, and that's not like a bad thing, but it just kind of contradicts what you're saying right now about bringing your Bible and following along, when sometimes they're just trying to make you understand it in the now times. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what this means. You know what I'm saying? But it can mean a completely different thing to you.
That's
You're
correct.
like,
that's correct.
Not how I look at it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't want to harbor on this faith thing, but I do believe you have to have some type of faith in this man. So I don't agree with you saying you don't have faith in this man. You have faith in God, which I understand. You have faith in God. Your faith may be stronger in God than it is in this man, but for some reason I'm just having an issue with not having faith in this man when you're faithfully going there. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't want to like pick out that
Mhm.
word, or like I'm just trying to show you that you do have some faith in this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like
Then I guess when you said that you like faith and trust are kind of the same thing. I
They
could kind
may
of
be
because in that with that description I'm saying like I hear like okay, then I guess I do kind of trust this man to to speak the truth, correctly, teach these people correctly. I do kind of trust him to a certain extent.
yeah. But so whatever. So I'm just saying like so we're placing these pastors on a pedestal when they're just people just like us.
Mm-hmm.
So and then like you hear people say, "Oh, they're just human."
They are.
Okay, but we're not just treating them like humans this whole time. So why now that they're making mistakes? Oh, they're human. Everybody's human.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's almost like oh fuck, they got me. So I don't want to seem like the fool. So hey, everybody's human.
Well, something that I've always been told from a young age, and something I truly do believe in, there are pastors in hell, and the people who learned from that pastor are in heaven.
See,
That's something I truly believe.
And hey, that's cool.
Like at church, they might be the most devout teacher of whatever I'm gonna use Christianity ever. But when they who are they when they leave the church? With the people who are learning from him, might be continuing their walk, continuing their faith, really taking in those lessons and applying it to their life, as opposed to the pastor who's just teaching it while he's there, but lives a whole different type of lifestyle when he leaves the church.
Yeah.
So I get why you're saying like some or all. You think all churches are a scam.
I wouldn't go as far as to saying. I think the church in general, the church, because you don't have to go to church.
You don't have to.
No, I mean, in some cases, that's what they're pretty much saying. Like, okay, so this is what I don't really understand about church.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to church, right?
Right.
You get saved. You become born again. You know what I'm saying? Now you're starting your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck do I have to come here every week?
I think you go there every week to continue your walk, to continue your faith, and also to keep learning. I think, to me, church is for people who are new, either kind of like new to the faith, or you're always learning from the faith, but people who are really, really new.
So why is a bunch of old people in there?
Everyone has their own reason for going to church.
I understand that, but
you could be old, you could be 90 years old and still like be like, oh, like I've never heard this before. I want to go every Sunday and learn. I want to keep going. I want to keep moving forward with this.
I got it. So you don't think someone that's been going to church their whole life have heard a lot of the shit that they keep hearing over and over?
I'm sure they have. But I think in my opinion, church is for people who are really new to the faith. But I think what the objective is that once you learn, once you truly have a grasp, you
become a pastor and you start getting
not a pastor, but you want to be able to if you wanted to, that person who has learned all they could, or at least enough to be able to teach at least everyone in their own household, like that's kind of like what Bible studies are. Like if we want, like we could have a little Bible study in the living room. I'm not saying you and I.
Okay.
I'm using it as an example, for the man who's learned all he has. He could take his wife, his kids, be like, all right, we're going to have a Sunday morning Bible study with breakfast,
Right.
So that's what I think is the objective. But I don't doubt that there are some churches that are a scam, who are just there to take money and then leave and then disappear.
Yeah. I right now church is it's just like cringy to me. Like when I go in and I'm just like, I don't want to be here. I'm only here because someone invited me and I'm trying to go and trying to be in support. But I just feel bad for the people. Every time I go to church, I just feel like I shouldn't be here. Nobody else should be here.
See,
either.
I think that's the first mistake. You don't want to go there and feel bad for the people. You want to go there and sort out your own feelings,
But how? So this is one thing. We are completely different on our stance in this. So I don't think I need to go to church to sort out my feelings. I don't. So we can just get that clear right off the back. We don't view church the same at all. So if I go to church, it's just in support of something or someone else. That's it. I'm not going to church to gain anything. I mean, I'm listening to what the guy's saying, but immediately if something is said that I don't agree with, or if it's like, that's a little bit off, I'm already like, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to something else in my head, like, when is this shit over? You know what I'm saying?
Keep looking at your watch, huh?
No, I'm not looking at my watch. I'm just like, because I'm at the point and age to where if I really didn't want to be there, I don't have to be there. You know what I'm saying? I could just get up and leave. But once they start the whole money situation, once you start asking for money and
Well, most churches, or at least the one that I go to, they say that if you are new to the church, we do not want any tithes, we do not want any offerings. This is only, we only want people who think of the church as their home. But even the people who make that church their home don't have to give. See,
and that's the difference. So when I started going to we're just gonna say the white churches. You know what I'm saying? When I started going to I don't want to say white churches because there's a mixed crowd. So the more conservative churches, those are cool because it starts at 10 o'clock and it's like over at 11:30, 12 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like second service.
See, second service. Well,
traditionally there are 3 services Sunday morning.
See, that's a big church then. There's a lot of people. So, so those churches that are like, hey, if you want to give, then go ahead. We're gonna pass it out. You know what I'm saying? And this is our time for offering. They don't spend a lot of time on it. You know what I'm saying? But you go to some churches and you pretty much hearing 3 different sermons. You do the praise and worship, and it's to come up, and I'm going to talk about the importance of tithes and offering to you guys for 15 minutes. To encourage you to give money.
Not to encourage you to give money.
No, that's how I take it.
To teach you, where it started, I believe. Like, why do we give tithes and offerings?
Okay. So let's get out of church, right? Let's take church and we just go into this organization.
Okay.
Me and you start an organization. We need to raise money. So how are we going to raise money? Are we just going to come out and ask the people? We need to raise money. Are we going to give them a backstory and something to kind of encourage them to give us interest and give us money and to trust that we're going to do what we're saying we're going to do with this money? Right? So you can't just come out and ask money. So that's what I'm saying. Church is pretty much an organization where at that moment it's let me tell these people and remind them that we need money to do all of this stuff, this, that, and this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they have an outreach. Maybe they're talking about their outreach. we like to thank everybody for contributing. We're moving forward. We're doing this now. We're building wells. You know what I'm saying? For, stuff like that. So that encourages, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're like, yeah, coming straight out. Yeah, man, the pastor need a new Benz. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all need to help me. There's some churches out there like that.
No, I've heard of them. I've heard of those ones. So,
and I don't know, man. I'm just thinking it's just like it's one of the biggest hustles, man. And I've been involved in the church where it just left this sour feeling, man, and sour taste in my mouth about church, and I just feel like religion is different than church, and it should be, it can be separated. Like, I don't need to go to church to be, a good person. And there's so many religions. There are. And it's full of a lot of good people. So it's like, it's almost to the point to where, what if nobody's right? What if in the end no one's right?
The path is narrow.
I don't even know what that means.
It means all these religions, all of them, you just have a single path. You only got right here, but everything off this way and everything off this way, it's not going to get you where you need to go.
But why not?
Because at the end of the day, there's only one God. There aren't hundreds, there aren't thousands. There's not a God of the tree, of the sun, of the wind. There's just one, who is God over all.
Right. So that's my question. Why would just one person that say you're going through this journey, which you believe to be the right path, but it's a good path. You're a good person. And what makes that wrong, the wrong path, just because it's you're saying it's only one God? Cool. So what if what they're doing is in line with the same stuff that this one God agrees with, or that's the path, but they're just not doing it in the world's eyes the way it should be? Because everybody, I think most of the religions think the other religions are wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why they chose that one instead of others.
Right. But I'm with the whole, like, it's just, if it makes you a good person, then
there are plenty of good people in hell. And there are plenty
and
there are plenty of bad people, or I should say people who start off really bad, who are in heaven, So
that makes no sense to me.
So think of it this way. When we get, straight down to the basics with Christianity, and I'm going to use a really super extreme example of someone who could have, which I doubt he is, but who could be in heaven, but we wouldn't know. If Adolf Hitler accepted Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior and repented all of his sins before he died, he'd be in heaven.
That makes
which I
no
doubt,
sense to me.
But if he truly, truly, truly believed it in his heart, he would be in heaven.
It's the dumbest shit ever to me. So
us being humans, we don't. Yeah. Shit,
listen,
I'd be upset too. I would be, but
I'm not upset.
But by the time I got to heaven, I'll be like, oh, look who's here. Well, I'm in heaven. So
but this is my thing.
All right.
We always we're taught to. I'm gonna use. We're trained to, when we think of heaven, we look up. What if heaven ain't up?
We're else would it be? Where would it be?
What if heaven is here? Like, we're enjoying heaven. Life is heaven.
Then I wouldn't like heaven. If this is heaven, then I don't like it.
So you don't like life?
I think life has its equal amount of good and bad.
Right.
But heaven is strictly all good, all bliss, all paradise.
How do you know that? Because someone told you.
Because the book says. The
Someone,
book tells me.
Who wrote the book?
Man. But from God himself.
Okay, well, let's just listen. Let's just stick to facts.
All right.
Do you know that there's a heaven?
Yes, absolutely.
How? Have you experienced it? I'm not trying to say that there's not or there.
Yeah, no. I totally get you. This is back and forth discussion.
I
you
think
know?
we should hug now. We're gonna hug throughout so we know.
No, get the fuck away from me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right.
We good, man. We good, man. I think we need to reassure that every now and again, because there's two things that I don't fuck with when you discuss religion or politics, because it gets kind of,
It does get a little bumpy.
But back to it.
No, but I truly believe there is a heaven and there is a hell.
Okay, wait. You're not listening to the question.
Okay.
You're being political with me right now.
All right.
Are you running for Senate or something?
Yeah.
But I'm not asking what you believe. I'm asking what you know. Do you know that there's a heaven, and do you know that there's a hell?
Yes.
How?
Because that's what the book says.
Okay, so you don't know it.
I do know it.
You have faith and belief that there's a heaven and a hell.
And you know what? That's the step. That's the step you have to take, is having faith.
Right. So you have faith and belief that there's a heaven. You don't know that there's a heaven.
Okay. So we were given free will, all right?
Right.
We were given free will. And with that free will, we choose what we want to do with our life, right? Okay. So follow along with me here. So with that free will, we could either go down this path, we go down this path, that one. There are an infinite number of paths that we can take, but only one leads to heaven. All the rest.
But you already contradicting yourself, because only one path doesn't lead to heaven.
It does. The path is very
You're saying Hitler could go to heaven if he repented. So he didn't drove all over the place. He didn't went on all these roads, but then he found this road all of a sudden.
Do you
listen to what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So it's not one path.
But yes, there is. There's only one path, because it's the path.
There's one. Okay, so when you say path, are you meaning like there's one door? Like, let's say a door. There's one door.
Okay, to simplify it, yes, there's one door.
But there's all kind of paths that you can get to this door.
No.
Is that what so you got to take this one road to this door. If we're using road and door, so one road.
Okay, so no. Okay, the road could splinter off any amount of times, but there's only one door. It's a straight line. If you take a little detour somewhere you're not supposed to be, but eventually come back and go through that door, you're good. But if you continue to go down this path or this one, instead of basically being at the enter, turn that doorknob and walking on through, then you're not going to heaven. That's the way that's the way it is.
So what you're telling me?
So with Hitler being as bad and horrible of a man he was, if he walked through that door, accepted Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior, and believed it with all his heart, all of his soul, then he would be in heaven.
So you're explaining to me that I can have a problem with somebody, and I could just go and just say, you know what, we not solving this problem. I'm just about to off this motherfucker. Take a gun. I'm over here with it now. So now I'm just finding my way back to the path that I was on, and I'm good, right? Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, well, it's where your faith comes in. So it's sad,
So right now, let me cut it. Right now we're only speaking on what we believe in. This probably has nothing to do with what you guys believe in or how you look at it. This is how they say, the comments from Asante is only from Asante. It has nothing to do with me and Generation Podcast and everything you say is
yeah, the little chatter thing that you.
But this is just our thoughts and our beliefs, and I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say about it, because this is my strong opinion about the church, and it's it stems from me going through the stuff that I've went through at the church that I was going to, that pretty much spoiled the my beliefs and faith in church.
And you're not the only person that this has happened to.
I know I'm not the only person.
But some things that other people have done is that they didn't just cancel everything out. They tried to find a new church, a new home, and sometimes they find the perfect one, and it keeps their faith strong and keeps their faith growing, and others are like, no, don't want it.
Yeah,
that one church ruined it all for me, and it's over.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'm gonna just live my life.
Yeah, but because I'm just a different type of thinker. It's like it doesn't make sense to me. Why am I giving this man money in hopes that they're going to do what they say they're going to do with it? Why am I doing that? It's like, I'm just going to donate then. This is just a donation. I don't give a fuck what y'all do with it. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. But to make it like the Bible says that you give tithe, you know what I'm saying? And no. That's an interpretation to me. That's an interpretation of, tithes and offerings. So we're doing all this, and all of a sudden, we're catching the bus to church, and now the pastor has a Benz.
You ever give money to the homeless?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do they tell you what they're going to use it for? Or do you kind of like tell them like, hey, like grab yourself some water or get yourself a meal?
Here's the deal. I'm very selective with my homeless giving. You know what I'm saying? If a homeless dude come up, you remember we was in Vegas, and the dude said he was singing the song, just give me $1 and I'll shut the fuck up. I love that. He's straight up with it, man. I just need $1 and I'll shut the fuck up.
He did say
well,
that.
We gave him $1. He didn't shut the fuck up.
No, he waited until we were gone, though. But we were still within earshot to hear him.
Yeah. Earshot. Look at him. Fancy words. But if a homeless guy, first off, if you don't look homeless enough to me, and your sign is so elaborate, you know what I'm saying? You ain't homeless. Stop lying. You know what I'm saying? If I see you in the same spot every day and you're upbeat, you ain't homeless, man. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here. But if your sign says, hey, man, whatever you got can help, I'm just trying to get a beer, I'm going to give this motherfucker enough to get a beer, man. Go on, get you a beer, man. Matter of fact, let me go buy you a beer. I appreciate that. Because I'm not scammed out of nothing. I don't feel like, this dude's going to go buy some drugs. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes if the guy is actually willing to do something, I'm like, man, I don't care what you about to do with this money, man. I appreciate you out here actually doing something to try to get some money. If getting drunk is your thing, go get drunk. If getting high your thing, go get high. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's where we're different then. Because I don't want to give a homeless person money to potentially go get more drugs, especially if I know he's going to use it for drugs. I don't want to give that person money so
you have no control on what they're going to do with your money.
And see, that is the point I'm trying to make.
What?
Is that although you give this homeless person money, you can hope that they use it for something that's actually going to benefit themselves.
Are you trying to tell me that I have faith and belief in the homeless man?
That he will use the money that you have
I don't
gave
care.
him.
I don't care what he... I don't look at the homeless dude as a pastor or a church.
This is just an example.
Right.
That when you give that money to that person, that there's no guarantee that they're going to use it for the right or for the wrong reasons.
Right.
You can hope they use it for something that'll benefit themselves. So when you give money to the church, they say they're going to do this and that and with it, and you can hope that that is truly what it's going to go
and
towards.
That's what people are doing. They're hoping that what I'll give $100
and you know
to
what
this.
and you know what, if you're going to the right church, that is exactly where the money will be put to use. So I was using the homeless person as an example that you're like, what do you need money for? He's like, oh, I needed to get some food. I haven't eaten in days. Okay, I'm gonna give you $10. Should be enough for a meal, at some burger place or whatever. Some hole in the wall burger place. Should be more than enough.
Well, this is how I get down with that. If I feel inclined enough, or if I feel touched enough to ask that question, my thing is, all right, well, what you want?
Mm-hmm.
What's your ideal meal of the day? You know what I'm saying? I got a little time, I'll go grab it.
Mm-hmm.
If they say, oh, no, I don't want no, you wasn't going to use this money to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Because what hungry person won't want someone to go and deliver them a meal and they have to do nothing? So you wasn't going, that's not what your goal was.
Mm-hmm.
I just eliminated all obstacles for you.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're like, I don't want to, never mind, I'm good. Could you just give me the money? No, because that's not what you want. You lied to me.
Mm.
You scammed me. You scammed me.
See, if you want to go that extra mile, you can.
What extra mile?
Like going out of your way to go.
I will.
To,
I mean, I was just one homeless lady, man. I just every time I think about her, it just like
mm-hmm.
touches me a little bit. She was is a border of Beverly Hills and Los Angeles, and this was years ago. I had a girlfriend that stayed in apartments in Beverly Hills, and there was a 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and again, I would walk over at night and go, get a drink or get some ice cream or something. And her name was Rose, man, and she was out there, and just the way she asked, it just like, damn, man, this lady is. It could have been an act, it could have been whatever, but I don't know, just the way she, and she says, sir, if you don't mind, can you, buy me something to eat? I'm really hungry. And I was just like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, just come in with me and go pick out whatever you want, and I'll buy it, And she was like, oh, really? You would? Really?
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, yeah, come on in, And then the guy, behind, no, get out. I'm like, nah, she with me, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to buy her something. Don't worry. We're going to pay for whatever she needs. You know what I'm saying? And, I didn't have a lot of money. So in my heart, I'm like, I hope she don't pick nothing that's super expensive. Or don't try to eat for the whole week. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got that. You know what I'm saying? And so she was just so grateful. And she bought a sandwich to me and was like, I hope this isn't too much. I was like, no, I'll get something to drink too, And she said, no, that's okay. I said, you don't need something to drink. You know what I'm saying? Get
sandwiches be a little dry from 7-Eleven.
Yeah. And she bought back the drink. But every time she bring me something, I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, my ice cream costs this much. So I'm going to get a sandwich. Okay, yeah, you got enough for a drink. Then she bought the drink. And I was like, oh, a little drink. Oh, you want some chips or some cookies or something for later? Mm-hmm. And, every time I said, she's like, are you really? And, she wasn't that bad smelling, but, she was in the store and they didn't want her in the store, you know what I'm saying? But I'm right there with her and I'm just like, whatever you want, just, you know what I'm saying, get it. And you're with me, so we're good. I'm going to pay for it. I promise you, you know what I'm saying? And every time I seen her, I made sure she was okay, And, if I haven't seen her in a while and then I seen her, I'm like, I haven't seen you in a while. You been okay, And so I would have this type of, relationship with this homeless woman, and it just touched me that there's people out there that are still even with the stigma of I'm not about to help the homeless because they're lying, you know what I'm saying? But this lady is sitting here and she's really accepting the help.
Mm-hmm.
She's not turning down what she asked for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's like, hey, can you help me get something to eat? When you help her get something to eat, she's out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all she really wanted was something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, hey, man, you got a couple dollars, I'm trying to get some gas. And you're like, I'll get you some gas. What's up?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm gonna just because you give me some. You don't want no gas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're lying. You're scamming. Stop scamming.
Yeah, I hear you. And there are definitely a lot of people out there who are just seriously in need of help.
Yeah,
they just want the bare minimum, you know, for them to at least make it through that day or that night.
And it sucks because you're not going to give everybody money.
No, I can't.
And that's where I'm at. I have to decipher which, what church, and just to save that bad energy, I just don't want. I'd rather not go.
So you avoid going to prevent your feelings being hurt?
No, my feelings won't be hurt.
Or to prevent, being lied to or feeling some type of way?
I don't want to. My biggest thing, even when I was going through what I was going through, my family still went to the church, and I did not say much to nobody because I don't want to deter anybody else's walk or their faith according to my beliefs and what happened to me. Because everybody gets something else, something different out of church. You know what I'm saying? So everybody don't go to church for the same reason. Is basically what I'm saying. So I did not want to make it like my reason should be your reason. So it's not to not get my feelings hurt. It's not to do any of that. I don't want to go, and I know I don't want to go. So why should I go and potentially make someone else feel the same way I'm feeling when they don't even have that thought? You know what I'm saying?
I think then someone else would try going on their own. Try going to a different one on their own, or that one on their own. If your family goes to second or third service, maybe you would go to first service.
Well, what are you talking about?
Like not using you as an example, but someone who's possibly in the same boat as you. Like because you say you don't want to go with the people,
No, I just stopped going to that church, and but I didn't say anything to, like, hey, y'all shouldn't go here because of this.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to make my issue someone else's issue. You know what I'm saying? And then it just started coming out that everybody had the same issues that I was having. So people learned on their own time.
And I think it could go the opposite way as well. That if you go there, feeling some type of way, the opposite could be said. In time that you learn the truth, or you find out what you need to find out, which is the positive. That this is real. This is good for me. I enjoy this. I think of this place as my home now. My home away from home. No. All right.
No, I just people that go to church. Happy for them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say that people that go to church and people that go to the bars and the clubs are the same, or it's a parallel. It's not. People that go to the bars and the clubs to find their
entertainment.
Their entertainment. And see, now you're making it like I'm calling church an entertainment, but it's not. But people to get their feel or whatever that is. Good for them. You know what I'm saying? You go to church, good for you. Go to church. But I don't need it pushed on me, and I'm not going to push my beliefs on anyone else. That's why I don't have these kind of conversations with people about it, because it can get, out of control. I have friends that are different religions. I have a friend that's a Muslim. And I'm not gonna sit there and be like, "Oh man, you Muslim? That's wrong. That's the wrong religion." Why? Why would I say that? But I ask him things about his religion all the time. You know what I mean? And it's there's nothing that's there's nothing bad that he's saying.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, okay, I could see why someone would be, involved in this religion.
Mhm.
Just like I could see why someone would be involved in Christianity.
Mhm.
You know, but I can also see why someone would not want to be involved in Christianity.
Mhm.
You know, and it's just a preference thing, man. If church is what you believe and what you feel you need in your life,
Mhm.
then that's what's up, man. That's good for you.
I think there's a little bit of a mix. I think there are people who go to church when like consistently. There are people who go every Sunday. There are people who go every Wednesday night and Sunday morning, because they want to just keep growing stronger and stronger and stronger in their faith and their walk and all that. And there are people who go to church when they're really, really going through it. Like
our own holidays, Easter,
Mhm.
Christmas.
So it's almost like
Valentine's Day.
So it's almost like they're treating the church like it's a doctor's appointment. Like they only go when they're sick, or they only go when they're really going through it. And
But according to you, that's not bad. That's good. Go get treatment.
that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad, because it's like you can still be, a devout, Christian, whether you go to church or you stay at home. There are also people who just can't make it to church. There are people who literally don't have the means to make it to church, but if they got a phone, they got a laptop, or if it's as simple as they just have a Bible, they just be in it themselves.
Bringing that brings up a good point. So even being in this pandemic showed how going to church is not necessary.
Yeah, you could watch it online. You can. There's nothing wrong with it.
I know.
Especially, with this pandemic, we want to keep the number of people, to a minimum.
Some of them, you couldn't have people in your church service, and people were watching church in their drawers and in their pajamas.
With a bowl of cereal.
Amen.
Yeah.
You speaking that?
Yeah.
You
But your problem, not your problem. You're saying
I got a problem. Say I got a problem. I don't like church. Fuck church.
But
yeah,
you're saying like the offerings, are kind of like a scam.
I just don't get the whole thing, man. It's like, why do we have to go to this building?
Mm-hmm.
We don't. The
You
pandemic
don't,
has proven that we do not have to go to this building and give you my money.
So your part of your issue is actually going?
Going and like the money, like,
because even online, watching it live, they send you an email, they send you a number, like a text to give, text this number, give this amount.
Yeah.
So nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is that you are just not in person.
Right.
So
but do you understand that money is the biggest part?
Yeah, but what you just said is like going and giving money. So it's almost like it's 50-50 with you.
No, like, first off, I made it clear I don't want to go to church. I'm not going to church.
Right.
So, and my biggest thing is the scam part, like the money. That's the biggest thing. Like, and I look at these people that are struggling and that's have strong faith, strong belief that this is gonna help me. And sometimes and it's I think our disconnect is that you have not experienced what I've experienced in the black church. You know what I'm saying? Where most of the time it's all about money. Give this and you're gonna see your bank account grow. God's gonna give you abundance of money. Your cup's gonna overfloweth. And but I'm steadily in this hole, and it's just sad to me to see that type of stuff going, and it's just like, how do we keep getting caught up in this situation? You know what I'm saying?
I wish I could have experienced what you've experienced, and that could have been a church that was just strictly for scamming people. But I don't think I don't.
First, I want to just say it didn't start out like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we were younger, we used to do some cool shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All the youth went on this fishing trip. I still talk to a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? And we all remember that. No one's going to ever forget. That was the bombest time.
Mm-hmm.
We left super early in the morning. We went out to the middle of the ocean, catching big-ass fish and having a good time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us have never been fishing. And now if we was to go fishing, it won't top that. So it's like, I don't want to do that. I will never sit on a bridge and go fishing because it's not that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we used to do graffiti hunts. We used to do youth celebrations where a bunch of youth would come and, you know, the whole cast of Boys in the Hood was there and, you know, stuff like that. It was like, that's the kind of stuff that I wish would have helped, kept going because it was helping people from the community and, you know, some people stop gangbanging, stop coming, you know, that kind of shit. I'm all for that.
And stuff like that, unfortunately, just isn't free.
I know it's not free.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. So at that point in time, I don't think that, you know, the pastor was even worried about money. Mm-hmm. We're gonna raise this money because we want to do this for the boys. We want to bring young men into this church, and we want to show them how to be men. You know what I'm saying? Take them to do this. Take them to do that. Mm-hmm. You know, kids need a haircut. Who know how to cut hair? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Let's cut some hair around here. Let's get everybody, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this kid doesn't have any suits. Let's go buy him some suits. Stuff like that, yes. Mm-hmm. It seems like everybody's on the same, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I'll give money for that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when I got older, that's the type of shit. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm down. We're going to grow some, you know, some men around here. But then it started to change to where, oh, now I could get some money. You know what I'm saying? And I just think when there's when there's a need for something and that's your need, you're driven by that. Like, oh, I want to help these boys. Mm-hmm. So any money that comes in, I'm going to figure out how we could channel it to these boys. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so you got to pay for the church. You got to pay for the lights. Church has bills too. I understand that. All the extra stuff goes elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, how much can we give to these boys? Because I really want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But once you have an abundance of money, I think that's where the problem comes. That's when it comes. Because when there's not a lot of money, and you're really trying to do something, you're focused on that. But when there's a lot of money, it's almost natural as a human to be like, I want some of that money.
You know, and that's where some pastors slip up. They can either use that abundance of money and put it towards even more for benefiting the church, or they could pocket some of it. But you can't control what other people do, unfortunately.
You can't.
But the good that money did for the people, for the boys in the hood, you know, who stopped gangbang, who
that's a movie, man.
But you know, some boys in the hood who just be a little, you know.
I got you.
You know, so it's benefiting them. You know, like take you out fishing. Let's go. You know, get closer as a community. You know, like put you on the right path, and that money helped do that. But just because you had a bad experience from your example, it started off great. You know, it started off just the way, you know, it should be. Mm-hmm. But when more money came in, you started to notice like, oh, he's starting to do, you know, why is the pastor have all of a sudden a nice car, or, you know, like he moved to a nicer neighborhood, you know.
I didn't think that because I was invested in this church. Mm-hmm. I didn't think nothing was wrong with now all of a sudden there's a Benz. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden there's property. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, you know, we've been talking about buying this church building forever. Still ain't done that, but there's houses. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so the priority to me has changed.
It has changed. Yeah. It has. and that's really unfortunate because it sounds like they were doing a lot of good, with the money that was coming in, and like you said, they do got to keep the lights on, somehow they do got to keep.
Completely understanding.
Yeah, but I don't think you could put that on every church. I think if you find the right one, you will be taken back to a time where they're doing all this for the community, they're doing this, that, and that, and they have if they have some extra money, it's going to go towards maybe repainting the building, or like tearing up some old rug and putting down some new ones, or whatever, getting new equipment, for the ones that are a little worn and torn, instead of it being pocketed by the pastor and the people who work there. So I think people should just step out of their comfort zone and find a church that they can call home, one that's actually doing good for the community.
That's cool, but how would you know?
You gotta step out.
But how would you know they're actually doing for the community? You don't. You just gotta have faith in what they're saying is true. Mm-hmm. And I don't have the time or the energy to give that. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's like dating. You have all these bad relationships, or say you have one bad relationship that just tarnished you. Mm-hmm. You're not just about to just go jump in another relationship. There's going to be flags. You're going to be like, oh, I know what that means. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not, you're just going to be like, oh, I'm not dealing with that because I know what that means. Mm-hmm. I don't want to invest any time into, and to me it's the same. I don't want to invest time into something that
then
may not end up with what I need to be.
With one, using that as an example, with one red flag that you've noticed, you possibly missed out on the greatest thing that you could have ever had.
Or you possibly missed out on some fucking turmoil and some pain. Mm.
Yeah, well, that's you gotta roll those dice sometimes.
You don't got to.
I guess that's true. You don't have to. You could just live a sad, unfulfilled life.
And that's that kind of stuff right there. What you just said is the turnoff to me from religion. Because why would you use strong words like that? Like sad and unfulfilled life.
Because the mindset that you have towards churches because of one bad experience is in fact sad. It is very sad.
See, and that's my thing. It's not that. I also said that there's good churches out there. There's still people out there, but I just don't have the time
to
invest my energy towards that because of how I feel about churches. Like, I'm not going to go and buy a fucking hard rock album because I don't like hard rock. It might be some good hard rock out there. It might be some great songs, but it's just not my shit. Mm-hmm. So am I going to live a sad and unfulfilled life because I don't want to get into hard rock?
No, I feel like it's sad because in the beginning it started off great. Using that as an example, you loved hard rock. Came across one that you didn't enjoy, and all of a sudden you cancel out all of it. So to me, that is sad.
But I mean,
that's my opinion. And it's sad because you're choosing not to give other ones a chance. You're choosing not to give it time and effort. And sometimes like when you move to a new community, it does take time and effort, and it is exhausting to find a new church to call your own, to call home. And and sometimes like it really does take time. Like maybe you'll want to go to this church, every Sunday or every other Sunday for who knows how long, but before you're like, you know what? I do enjoy going to this church. I do like hearing everything that I'm hearing. I do like seeing everything that I'm seeing that the church is doing for the community. Everything seems to be on the up and up. Everything seems legit. Coming here for this long every other week, I think I'm ready to finally call this place, my home away from home.
Yeah, I'm just not there.
Yeah.
I'd rather not waste my time. And I mean, that's the greatest thing about America.
Mm-hmm.
It's my choice.
It is.
But you know, I know you didn't mean it maliciously, but there's people out there that will say the shit that you said.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what turns people this type of conversation into like a debate or an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would you use those words towards someone that just doesn't agree with you? A sad and unfulfilled life. So your life is fulfilled and happier than mine because you go to church? In your opinion, yes, because that's what you said, right?
Mm-hmm. Because I know, based off of what you told me, in the past, it was great. Everything they were putting towards the community, towards you, was perfect. Am I wrong?
But also, I was a kid.
And people continue, if they're at the right church, when they're a kid, they continue going to that same church to when they are a young man, a teen, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, all the way up until, you know, they die. Or whatever else
but
happens.
I didn't make it. We didn't make it that far.
Right.
I mean, I was an adult. I was mm-hmm. still going there as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And it was then when I found out a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Because things have changed.
A lot of stuff changed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not one to make. I'm not in the belief of these pastors being placed on the pedestal, and then when they make a mistake, oh, I'm only human. Well, that's not what you've been preaching this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck all that.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, because especially if I was to do the same stuff, then I'm getting ridiculed or I'm being placed on, and that's a whole nother thing because you haven't experienced any of this. I'm being sat down to where I can't participate anymore in a certain things because I've done this certain sin or whatever, you know. But come to find out, the whole time you've doing the same thing, but you're still up there every week, taking our money. So yeah, fuck all that, man.
Then yeah, based on what you're telling me, then that church or that pastor, definitely had other intentions with that money.
But it's a lot of churches out there like that, man. And
there are. I'm not doubting that. And you were definitely correct.
And there's a bunch of good churches, but it's just like I don't feel the need. Period. So to me, I mean, and I could be wrong, in the end. But hey, I'm willing to go down with the ship, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see. And the fact that you say, I know I used to be in that. I used to be in that belief, like, oh man, that's not a good life,
Well, the only reason why I went is because me as your son, I don't want you to go down with the shit. I want you to get in the life raft where there's plenty of room,
But
with me.
That's your beliefs, and you stick with that. You know what I'm saying? But what if in the end you in the life raft and I'm on a nice ass boat? Like, you should have been with me. Can I get my son? Can I get my son? You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows in the end if this is exactly what it's going to be. Right. You have faith and belief that you're on the right path.
Right. Because if everyone knew that this was real 100%, that would affect free will. It would. If everyone knew that
I have no idea what you're saying, but that's probably a little too deep for moi.
Yeah. Yeah.
If everyone knew what was real.
If everyone knew that this particular religion was real 100%, like regardless of all the contradictions that may be in it or not, if they knew that this was real 100%, then of course everyone would automatically fully jump on board. Everyone be on that boat.
Yeah, but
right?
it's hard to make people believe that.
But I'm saying, like, if everyone knew 100% that it was, then everyone would, of course, be on board. But since that isn't the case, you were given free will, and with that free will, you can either choose to have faith or not.
Right.
That's just what I think. But some people choose, not to. Some people do. Some people go down certain roads and not. And some of those roads are really great. People live great, happy lives. You know.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happier now
Mm-hmm.
than I was when I was going there.
Yeah.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's not a knock on anybody. Like I said, I do not try to discourage anybody from going to church, listening to hard rock, any of that. If that's your shit, that's your shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But in the same sense, I really don't like to be like sought after or try to get recruited to, let me believe what I believe. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting you believe what you believe. Can I just believe what I believe? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying to.
No, I'm also speaking, as if it's someone else. Like,
yeah. 'Cause I mean, I tell all my, hey man, if you want to still be buddies, man, let's just not just talk about that religion shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll test it. Because some Christians, it's their job to try to bring more people into the faith. You know what I'm saying? So it's always like, hey man, you want to go to church? Like, no. Why not? You sure you want to know? You know what I'm saying? Because
how much time you got?
No, it's not even how much time. It's my shit is straight to the point. I don't trust it. Oh, why you don't trust it? Because it's a bunch of bad people out there that's lying. So I don't know who to believe, and I don't have time to
sort out who's who.
Because I'm just I rather not walk around saying that everyone's bad or everyone's good. It's just that I don't want to find out. If you say you're good. They believe you, stay over there. You know what I'm saying? Where they believe you, because I don't want to believe you. I don't want to put my time into figuring out if you're real or not, because I am under the impression that everybody is human. There's no one touched by God to start a church, in my opinion. Because how do you know? How do you prove that?
You can't really prove it, because
can't.
It's based on what you feel in your heart. That's it.
You can't prove it.
So only that person, based off of his or her own heart, will truly know. This
is my thing. When I got older, when I was younger, people would say, hey, God told me to tell you. And I'd be like, oh man, he talked to God. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till God talks to me. And then when I got older, someone would come tell me, well, God told me to tell you. And then immediately I'm like, why wouldn't he just tell me? Why he got to tell you? You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people play on that shit, man. God ain't tell you nothing. You felt it. You know what I'm saying? You felt that maybe I need some encouragement right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's your interpretation of God telling me to tell you this. I just feel it in my heart that you need some encouragement. Let's just say that, because we don't know if God told you to say that. This is what you're feeling in your heart. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just a lot of fake shit going on in there, man. And it's just, I don't want to be judgy, but immediately when I step in there, I'm judgy.
Yeah,
I don't
honestly,
like
this is a topic that can go on forever.
Forever.
Like there could be no end to it.
I mean, it can't, because and the good part about it is there's two people that has two different experiences and two different perspectives and two different generations. So it's generational, man.
This shit is generational.
It's generational. Because and you didn't really experience the stuff through my lenses. And to be honest, I went to a church that's similar to the one that you're going to, and it was fucking mind-blowing. It changed my whole scope on church at that time. Because all my life, all I knew is black church. Loud, screaming, and, people fake catching the Holy Ghost and, falling out and doing all of that. The first time I saw somebody do that, it scared me. I was like, oh, I don't want that. I don't want to catch that. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But then, you know, when I was younger, I used to look at it as, oh, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? They're really doing it. But it was scary. Like, oh, man, I don't want that. I don't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't want to put my hands up. You touch me and I'll fall out. I don't want to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? And the first time I saw somebody do this, peek and do, I'm like, oh, they faking. Mm. So then everybody, I'm looking, I'm just, now it becomes a game when the talking, when that music come on and people start doing that, like jumping and stuff, and they close their eyes and they not running in the chairs, I'm like, she faking. Because how she know that chair was right there? You know what I'm saying? Or if you running around, sorry, So from that, I was like, okay, now I'm questioning this Holy Ghost situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it really? You know what I mean? Is it just a feeling? Is it just that all of a sudden, you know, like when you hear your favorite song and you're like, oh shoot, is it that? But in spiritual, you know what I'm saying, where you just like you just can't control yourself and you just, I gotta do this, I gotta do something. You know what I'm saying? But when it became people dancing and everybody looking at their feet and making sure they feet, I'm like, come on, man, now we dancing. You know what I'm saying? And so every time that something happens, it's something in the Bible that someone interprets it this way. Oh, I'm dancing like, is it Peter or Paul? One of them used to dance or something. I might be wrong with every word I just said, every name, but I think I'm dancing like so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Let's dance then. You know what I'm saying? And all of that stuff, it just started making me look at a lot of stuff different. Like once I started really understanding that, you know, because I mean, there's people in there that you probably never seen this stuff, but there's two people holding them because they're out of control. You know, they fucking the chairs up right now. So you got two people over there. You know, I'm like, oh, that's real. She fucking the chairs up. You know what I'm saying? She lost control of her body right now. You know what I'm saying? But if someone's over there running and they keep looking up, making sure, it's like, are they really, you know, having that experience? And everybody experiences stuff differently,
right?
You know, but I don't know. It was just almost like it was an act, and I didn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because I didn't have that. You know, like I remember one time going up and I thought that if
that you could give it to someone else.
No, as soon as he touches me, I'm just gonna lose it and I'm gonna fall. I didn't feel that. He kept pushing me, trying to make me, and I put my leg back, like, what are you trying to do? You know, like, so now I'm like, oh, I guess he wants me to fall. You know, so the dude caught me in the back, but I'm looking like, you know, I'm gonna fall. As soon as I got down there, I laid down a little bit. Then I'm like, I'm not, nothing's happening to me, so let me get up. You know what I'm saying? And from that, I'm just like, is anybody else down here feeling what I'm feeling? You know what I'm saying? Like, he pushed me.
Right, right.
You know? And from there, I'm just like, I don't want to go up there again because he going to hit me hard or try to, you know, push me down. Fall. Yeah. You know? So all of that, taking my jacket off, throwing it and falling out and all of that, I just hate that shit, man. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, do me then. Do me. Hey, it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always want to do that. Like, if all these people fell down just because you wanted your fucking jacket.
I think I've seen this video on like YouTube or something. I think I've seen it. They be throwing their jackets or hitting people with their jackets, and all of a sudden they just fall out, go crazy. No, I ain't seen that one.
You know, fall out, and now they healed. Or the other one, you know, the Miracle Spring Water. Have you seen that infomercial? I got my Miracle Spring Water, and I got a check in the mail for $4,787.
No.
Thank you for my Miracle Spring Water. It's a little tube. Come on, man. Fuck out of here. I'm about to start selling some water.
You want to sell some water?
Yeah.
All right.
Go sell some water. Call it though. I mean, people are so goddamn gullible, and I just gotta get a good person to represent my water. And say it's a blessing in this water. But I'm not lying because there is a blessing in purchasing this water. The blessing is me. I'm getting blessed.
Thank
you for my blessing.
All right.
It's scamming. I'm not scamming, but you know, is that scamming if I sold some miracle blessed water?
I mean, is the water truly blessed?
Yeah, it's blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
Because I'm getting blessed.
So the water isn't blessed. The
water is a vessel of my blessing.
So you're blessing the people.
No, the people blessing me.
So the people are blessing you through the water.
I'm using this water as a vessel for me to get blessed.
So shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't the water be blessing them?
I mean, it's gonna help them because you can drink it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So I don't think you down with my congregational of my ministry. Yeah, that's it. Of my ministry. You're not with my ministry. You wouldn't partake in my water.
If I was ever thirsty, yeah, I'd drink some. Yeah. You know, I buy alkaline water every once in a while.
Yeah. See, you wouldn't partake in my blessing because you hear it up front. Just imagine if the sheet was unpulled. Now I sound like I'm closing the message in church. Just imagine if the sheet was pulled off of every church. Every church.
Some churches you would see something ugly. Some churches you would see.
Still speaking here, son.
He's still speaking.
Every church, you were able to see everything that you don't normally see. You were able to see the truth. And I come to you today and ask you, would that truth still keep you there? That's a question you got to ask yourself. Now, if that truth is something that you don't believe in, what would you do? Now, I just presented to you my ministry of blessed water that's going to bless me, and you wouldn't partake in it. And that's only because you heard it up front. And it's not something that you want. You don't want to bless me. You want to get blessed. And that's where I'm at with the whole church situation. Ain't nobody just going to come out and just tell you, he's going to give you the books and just show you, because that's almost what I need.
This conversation has the potential to never end.
It will never end.
Because even with you saying, like, when you pull the sheet off of every church, yeah, you would see some ugly stuff. You would see some ugly churches. But you would see some pretty beautiful ones, too.
And those are the ones that need to stay. But it's hard to determine, man. That's the sucky part.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where you would think that, that's a unhappy, unfulfilled life if you're going down trying to pull off all the sheet on all, but I'm not. So I was like, I'd rather not waste my time. You guys show me a lot to get me to partake in anything. My whole thing is I don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't want to have any ill will towards you. So sometimes it's just like, I'd rather not. I'd rather not. I'd rather not be your friend. I'd rather not give you the time because I got a feeling you're gonna fuck me over. I'd rather not. You're a good person. It's cool people. But, I'd rather not give you that. I'll what's up you. And, I'll be cordial and be cool, but nah. You don't deserve my energy or my time. And I think I have that right to make that decision.
Deserve is an odd word to use.
No, I'm talking about I'm putting people in general right now. I'm not even talking about church. But I just view it the same. Like if say you got somebody at work and they're cool, and then you're almost to the point to where I might hang out with this person, And then, you know, you notice something weird or odd, and you're just like, thank you for showing me that, but I don't want any of that by me. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Yeah.
But I'd rather not.
Mm-hmm.
We be cool at work,
Mm-hmm.
but outside of work, you go your way, I go my way. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to let you in, and it's crazy sometimes because a lot of people feel that way about people, but once you talk about church, don't you talk about my Jesus? But I'm not talking about your Jesus. I'm talking about people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes a lot of people have hard time distinguishing people from church.
Yeah.
You know. So
I get it.
And in my my thoughts is God is within me. So I don't need the church to tell me. You know. Just like you're encouraged to go and read up and learn on your own, I could do that without the church.
Mm-hmm.
You know? If anybody's going to screw me over, it's going to be me.
Right.
If anybody going to scam me, it's going to be me.
Don't scam yourself.
Now, I'm going to scam myself. I'm going to scam myself. But, you know, that's the beauty of being a person. being able to live, man. You know, you make decisions, and it doesn't have to be based on anything.
Yeah.
But your own understanding and your own beliefs. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a good person. But what it does is it just makes you a person. You know?
Yeah.
Those are some of the words you hear at church. You know, and then you be in there like, oh, yeah, amen. You ain't said shit. You know? But let me try it again. It doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't make you a bad person. But what it does is it makes you a person. You are a person.
Yeah.
See?
I am a person.
Yeah. I am a person. You're right.
Yeah.
It's church is emotional, man. That's what it is, man. It's emotional. Mm-hmm. If they can get you in that right emotion, you gonna empty that wallet. You're going to empty that wallet. You're going to be more inclined to give because I believe and I love what I was fed today. You know? But I don't want to make it like it's all about money, but it's about your spirit. Like, some things can really fuck up your spirit.
Yeah, it could.
You know?
Trust could really mess it up.
Yeah.
Broken trust. Yeah.
And I think that's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really, you know, fucked up my spirit and how I get down in, because I was all in it, you know, and yeah, it just really fucked me up, man.
Trust is something really hard to gain back.
Yep. Yeah. So that being said, you know. But I think we'll pick it up again because I really didn't even get into a lot of stuff, you know, on what really, because I think your questions kind of, you know, led us down another road. But, you know, I didn't even get to touch on like my what really started having me question, is there really a God and stuff like that, you know. We'll do a part 2 right after.
Yeah.
We'll do a part 2.
All right.
Because, I mean, it'll I think you'll have more of an understanding. So, join us next week.
Hey.
For part 2.
Part 2.
And we're going to continue it. And, you know, this one's going to be interesting to cut up because we were pretty much saying the same thing for a whole hour, you know? So... You know, we hope it's something that you guys can engage with us. We like to hear everything in the comments. And the purpose of this, one of the purposes is, just having dialogue between the father and son,
Right.
and kind of, because no one's perfect. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have my good, and I have my bad, and he has his good and he has his bad, and just like you, no one's perfect. So let's not beat no one up because they don't believe in the same thing you believe in. Still kind of, you can still love them. You know what I'm saying? I have my my buddy. He's a Muslim. I don't treat him any different. Love him the same, man. He's just. I'm not in friends. I'm not in a friendship with a Muslim. I'm in a friendship with the person. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't ever discuss religion, you don't know what people are.
Right.
You just know them for that person. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be. So keep loving each other, man, and just be good, man. That's all. To me, that's what religion is. If it makes you a good person, then thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Just continue to walk on that path that you feel is right, and that's it. If you go to church, go to church. You listen to hard rock, listen to your hard rock. Listen to your hard rock.
They know.
Yeah.
They know.
If you like rap, listen to your rap. It doesn't matter. We're all just people, man. Everybody's just trying to do the same thing in this life, is make it. And whatever your version of making it is, then keep striving. That's all I got to say, man.
That's all you got to say?
Yep.
Well, if you guys liked what you saw, go ahead and like that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And let's go ahead and continue this conversation in the comments.
Let's do it. We gonna see y'all. We looking for y'all in them comments, man.
We gonna see you guys next week with that part 2.
Part 2 coming up, man.
Part 2,
man.
Hey.
Oh, we got a good shake, man.
All they do is yap, 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 all out the mouth. I don't understand what you really talking about. If you ain't talking about the dollar, what you talking about? All they do is yap, 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 all out the mouth. I don't understand what you really talking about. If you ain't talking about the dollar, what you really talking about? Been grinding.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on the person that's holding the baby. Like, I never understood why people go, "Oh, can I hold him?" Like, why? What if you fuck him up? That's how I think. I'm like, I don't want to put myself in any position that I should not be in. What if I break the thing? That's how I used to think. What if I break the thing?
Not broke. Just slight scoliosis. We'll say that. Not broke.
It's broken.